YouTube recording. Hello, Almita, how are you? Oh, Alma is still connecting her microphone. Okay, so yes, the idea is that today, after the break, we are going to take the test. Here on my screen, I will show the questions, the options, page by page, as you said on the booklet, Abril, but
Okay.
one by one, I will show and I will set the timer according to the minutes and the number of questions on
So you
each.
will give us like, for example, 20 seconds for one question, and then you are going to share.
No, a little more, I guess. It's not 20 or 30. Well, in the listening, yes. On
Oh,
the
yes.
listening, you have 12 seconds, 13 seconds at the most. That is not determined by me. The recording has the correct timing. But the time that I am going to show to you is for the reading and the grammar and structure.
Okay.
But the listening is the normal 12, 13 seconds after the question for you to answer.
Okay. And for example, on the reading, how are we going to manage the sharing?
Yes, last class I showed you the way I am going to have a double screen so I can share with you both the reading
Mm.
and the questions. But I also have an alternative. I can send you the readings if you can open a different window on your computer and you can only see the questions on my screen. I mean, it's also possible.
Okay.
So you will tell me, what do you prefer? If you prefer that I have a double screen, I think my computer is big and I can have a double screen, and the size, I amplify the size to show the text on the left, for example, and the questions on the right. So you can have everything on your screen. Now, it depends on your screen on the computer. Do you have a large or a small screen? That can cause you problems.
Okay.
So I can give you the alternative to have the text independently, and so you can open your telephone additionally to the computer. So you can have the reading and the questions, or vice versa.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Thanks.
Okay. Hello, Adriana. Hello, Alma. How are you?
Hello, teacher.
Ready? How do you
Yes,
feel? How do you feel? Do you feel strong? Do you feel in victory? Yes. And Adriana, how are you, dear?
fine, teacher.
Ready?
Kind of.
The moment of the truth.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if you want, I am already recording. If you want, we can begin checking some listening activities that we have missing. Okay.
Okay.
So tell me the number of the skill. I'm going to show you, of course, I'm going to show you the my file, but I would like to know precisely which was like the last one. We couldn't. Okay, I have the CD list, the audios ready, and I also have here. I'm gonna share with you the screen. Wait a minute. Mhm. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Mhm. Listening. This is it, I guess. And I assume we might have probably arrived. I don't know. Can you please check on your books which one could have been the last? For example, here we have number 15, and we already have the answers here. I suppose that we saw number 15. Yeah, take a look at this. An affirmative wish implies a negative reality. I wish I had time to help. This means that the reality is that I don't have any time to help. Or a past verb implies a present reality. For example, he wishes he were at home means that he isn't at home. Or past perfect implies a past reality. I wish he had been home. It's because he was not at home. So here, I think we saw this number 15 with the conditionals. Yeah. Are you checking that? I think we saw it. Creo que sí lo vimos. Segundo y tercer condicional. Yes.
Yes,
If
I
I
think
had time. Yes, Adriana, please.
yes. Yes, we saw it.
Yeah, I think we did. How about, well, that was, oh my God, I am just amplifying, not scrolling down. Okay, and this was 15. And this was a recollection. This was 16. I think we listen for 2 and 3 part verbs. Remember, with prepositions, we have different meanings on phrasals. 2 or 3 part verbs are the phrasals, idiomatic expressions. Did we saw it too? Yes or no? Brush up. No, brush up. That means
Yes,
like
I
it.
think so too.
Then it was 17, a list of common idioms using this appendix. He's doing too much. The idiomatic expressions, which are kind of similar to the phrasals, that we need to memorize them because that's the way people use them. And then the recollection of all the skills. And then listening part B. And here we have like the YouTube audio because I didn't have the CD2 on my pack. Do you remember? And so here we posted the link where we could listen to this listening part B, which is longer conversations. Do you remember? The first part is very short conversations, mostly 2 people speaking, alternating, and then the question. But part B involves longer conversations, like a dialogue between the 2 people, but talking about a more complete situation. And next, we will take usually 4 questions. And that was, well, skills 17, I suppose. Okay, part B. So let's see, what do we have? Okay, 18. This is 18, look. Overall comprehension, anticipate, school life, you know, talking about the topic of the, try to anticipate the topic or the general idea. I think we saw this too. And we practiced like predicting from this, look, if we read work on campus, work in an office, students' jobs, and ask the woman questions, what is like the general idea, no, of this situation if we have these keywords, like finding a job at school, ¿no? And I think we did it. Creo que sí lo hicimos, aunque aquí ya lo tengo subrayado. Aquí sí, vean. This is 19. Individual questions anticipate what the question is. Again, what was the probable question? If we anticipate not only the topic, but we can also anticipate the question. Like, for example, in the airport, in the library, in the dormitory, in the travel agents. Now, what is the question? A place. Where does the conversation probably take place? Do you remember that? We could guess, adivinábamos. If the options, all the options have in, that means place. They are places. So the question is asking me, where does the conversation probably take place? So we can anticipate just by reading. Another here. And I think we did this. Creo que lo hicimos. Find work on campus, work in an employment office, find jobs. What does someone want to do? ¿Qué quiere hacer? Find a job, work in an office, help students finding jobs. Again, in. The question is very probably where, no? Where does the conversation take place? It's a place. And the options are places, etc., etc. Do you remember that? I think we did it. Yo
I'm
recuerdo
not very sure.
yeah, I think we just read them and we went on. Y propusimos una o dos y luego ya nos seguimos. So you tell me, what would you like to do? Because this was 18, I guess, 18, 19, skill 18, 19, trying to predict. Now 20, determine the topic. Aquí sí ya no vimos nada. Ajá. Creo que aquí nos quedamos. What do you say then? What are we going to do? Do you want me to go back into skill 19 and then move on? Or do we start with 20 and we go ahead? Hello? What would you rather do? ¿Qué hacemos? ¿Nos regresamos tantito? ¿Vemos la 18 y la 19? ¿O avanzamos de la 20 a la 25?
From 20 to 25 would be fine in my opinion, but what does the other
Okay,
say about it?
let's wait for the others. We move on from 20 ahead because we are only missing 5, ¿no? Solo son las únicas que nos faltan, ¿no?
Yes.
5 or 7. ¿Hasta cuál llega? 27. Hasta la 27 y luego ya acaba. No? Look. Anticipate the questions. And this is also part 3. Y la parte C, donde ya son como speeches, ¿no? Speeches or lectures. So let's do it from 20 on, no?
Yes. Will be fine.
Okay. So
Yes.
we can just cover up what we might have. It seems that we could have probably seen this. Look, we have some notes. Todavía tenemos notas. Okay, draw conclusion. Okay. So 20, determine the topic, okay? While listening. While you are listening, you can just take a look and try, look at the questions and try to decide on the probable topic. As you listen to each conversation, remember this is part B, we have longer dialogues. You should be thinking. You should be thinking about the topic, the subject, or the main idea of each conversation. Usually the first 1 and 2 sentences generally give us the topic. You should be asking yourself what the topic is while you are listening carefully to the first part of the conversation. So we need to pay attention. At the very beginning, they are going to say information that will be important to determine the topic. For example, on the recording, we hear, "You can't believe what I just got." This is the first line. "I bet you got that new car you've always wanted." Now, how in the world did you figure that out? No? And you think the topic of the conversation is the new car that the man has just got. And we read the topic by carefully listening to what the first speaker and then the response to the second speaker say. Okay? So listen to the first part of each conversation and decide on the topic. So this is now begin the recurring program at exercise 20. Let me see, because this is going to be the problem that I do not always have like the exact track. Okay. Okay, no. So I am going to share, wait a minute. I'm just going to share the audio, but the one I had wasn't that. A ver, el 3A. Okay, I'm going to be sharing the audio. Just a second.
Published by Pearson Longman, ELT, a division of Pearson Education.
Can you listen?
Copyright 2004.
Yes.
Okay.
This program may not be copied or reproduced, in whole or in part, without the prior written permission of the publisher.
We need to check the number.
Cassette 3, Side 1. TOEFL Exercise 16.
16.
In this
So this is the situation that here I need to move ahead, trying to see if I can reach 20.
Almost finished. Do you think you could look it over for me?
What does the man want?
Okay, let's see where they are. This was a problem with listening, that we don't have them by tracks. That's a disadvantage situation. A disadvantage.
Number 8.
Okay.
Has everyone been in?
Number 9.
Okay.
Did you sleep well last night?
Number 10.
I could not believe the story in the news about the problem with the airplane.
Yeah, I saw it too. The pilot was forced to land the plane in a field.
What does the man mean?
Okay, this should be the end of one exercise. Let's see which number is that. Pay attention so you help me out.
This is the end of listening part A.
Okay.
Listening part B.
Okay.
Exercise 20.
Okay, there we are, right? Yay!
Yeah.
This is part B, exercise 20. Exactly. Exercise 20. Listen to the first part of each conversation, of each of the conversations, and decide what the topic is of each conversation. All right. So let's see. I'm going to play it. Let's listen. Attention.
Listen to the first part of each of the conversations and decide on the topic of each conversation. Number 1. The first part of conversation 1 is,
I'm looking for a part-time job on campus.
what is the topic of conversation 1?
Okay.
A part-time job in a university campus.
Kind of a job, no? In a university campus. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Do you agree, people, on that?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So, job in campus, let's say, okay? Okay, how about number 2? Listen.
Number 2. The first part of conversation 2 is,
Hi, Jack. It's good to see you again. Are you ready to get down to business again after spring break?
Not really, but I guess I don't really have too much choice, do I? And it's going to be particularly hard to get back to work since I just had the most fantastic vacation ever.
Really? What did you do?
I went kayaking on the Klamath River.
I mean, it was not only the beginning, it was almost all the conversation. What was it about? Considering that part B on the listening exam has longer conversations, well, yes, we can say that we are barely listening to the beginning of the conversations. Okay, so what's the topic here?
Doing business during vacations.
Activities, last vacation activities, no? Last vacation activities. Yeah, because the woman wants to know more. Really, what did you do? No, I mean, so the man is going to explain, first we went and then and later, no, all that. Okay, does everybody agree?
Yes.
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 All right, let's listen to top conversation 3, getting the topic.
what is the topic of conversation 2?
Oh, well, we need to wait.
Number 3. The first part of conversation 3 is,
Did you read the article that the professor assigned for tomorrow's class? It was really interesting.
No, not yet. What was it about?
It was about pollution, specifically one kind of pollution called acid rain.
what is the topic of conversation 3?
Okay, what would you say?
Reading an article about acid rain at school or at university.
Acid rain in class topic, no? It's like a class topic.
Class topic.
Acid rain in class topic. Okay, good. Well, let me see if the answer key guides us better on this. Let's see what the answer key says. This is, okay, just 20. Okay, it says like, let me get it bigger. It says conversation 1, looking for a part-time job on campus, okay? A kayaking trip that the man took in the Klamath River. Well, we didn't reach to that part, but it is part of the activities on vacation. And one kind of pollution called acid rain. Acid rain. So we got it. Okay? So now, let's move ahead. So this is something that we can do. I mean, remember that what we are receiving here are strategies to be more effective and to focus our mind during the listening, especially in longer conversations. The first thing is do not lose the first lines where they refer the topic. With the topic, it is usually easier for you to catch up the continuation of the dialogue because you already know what they are talking about. All right, this is it. Then we have here 21. Drawing conclusions about who, what, when, where. So we are going to make inferences. When we draw conclusions, it means that we are going to have like a mental process to conclusions or to what did I say? To a deduction, to deductions. No? And the dialogue may not say directly who, what, when, or where, but because of the conversation, you can make that construction, that deduction. So here, as you listen to each conversation, you should be trying to set the situation in your mind. You should be thinking, who's talking, when, where, and the source. So here we have an example. A man says, why do you have so many books? No, here, why do you have so many books? And the woman says, I need them for my paper on George Washington. So we start catching up. Who is the woman? Who's the man? No? Do you know how I can check them out? Check them out? Yes, you should go downstairs to the circulation desk, fill out a card for each book. So in here, when we listen to that, okay, just a second, please, just a moment. Can you please start analyzing these situations? I'll be back, okay? Just a second.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm back. Okay, so this is it, okay? Taking books out of the library. What is the topic of this conversation? And we can think according to the person who is speaking, no? Here, we see someone that is taking books out of the library and is even asking how she can do the process of taking them out, checking them out. So we have two students, very probably. Where? In the library. What course? Listen, what course? American history. Why? Because the paper is about George Washington. American history. Okay, so this is the idea. Are you ready to listen exercise 21? Yeah? We're just going to listen the first part again, trying to define topics by deciding who's probably talking and where are they talking. All right, ready?
Yes.
Let's go on.
Exercise 21. Listen to the first part of each of the conversations and try to imagine the situation. Then answer the questions in the text. Conversation 1. Listen to the beginning of Conversation 1 and try to imagine the situation.
I'm looking for a part-time job on campus.
Then you've come to the right place. The Campus Employment Office is here just to help students like you find jobs on campus.
I'm glad to hear that, because I really need to start earning some money.
Number 1. Who is probably talking?
Who do you think is probably talking?
Student?
A student and? Because we have two
officer.
speakers.
Yes,
Hmm?
an officers at or a
Exactly.
secretary at school.
Exactly. Somebody at the administration office, no? Yes. So it's like an officer at school and a student. Where does the conversation take place?
Of the university campus, maybe at the admission office or something like
Exactly. At the desk, at the office, on campus. Okay. Now, conversation 2. Okay, people, let's go on.
Number 2. Where does the conversation take place?
Okay, that was part of the conversation 1. Okay, in conversation 2, we have 3 questions. Who, when, and what? What's
Conversation 2. Listen to the beginning of Conversation 2 and try to imagine the situation.
Hi, Jack. It's good to see you again. Are you ready to get down to business again after spring break?
Not really, but I guess I don't really have too much choice, do I? And it's going to be particularly hard to get back to work since I just had the most fantastic vacation ever.
Really? What did you do?
I went kayaking on the Klamath River.
Number 1. Who is probably talking?
What do you say?
One student, or maybe 2 students, or the student with a friend.
Okay. Somebody else? Abril?
Two co-workers.
Yeah. It sounds to me more like co-workers, yeah, because they are talking about going back to work. Of course, students can also talk about going back to work, school work, no? But yeah, it could be. It could be students. It could also be co-workers. Okay. Now, question 2.
Number 2. When does the conversation take place?
Any idea about when?
After spring
After
break?
After what?
the vacations.
After vacation, yeah. After a vacation period. Spring season, no? Spring break. The spring vacation period. All right. Next. What is the source of the man's information? Question 3.
Number 3.
Kayak.
Okay.
What is the source of the man's information?
What is the source of the man's information?
Well, his vacations in doing kayak.
Yes, because he's going to talk about his vacation, which is an experience, no? The man's own experience on vacation. That's the source. Yes, the man's information, the information that the man is going to give about the most wonderful vacation ever, and I'm just returning from them. So the source is from his own experience on vacation. Okay. Do you agree? Does anyone have something different? Any different idea?
No,
Nope.
teacher.
Okay. So let's go into conversation 3.
Conversation 3. Listen to the beginning of Conversation 3 and try to imagine the situation.
Did you read the article that the professor assigned for tomorrow's class? It was really interesting.
No, not yet. What was it about?
It was about pollution, specifically one kind of pollution called acid rain.
Number 1. Who is probably talking?
Okay, what would you say?
2 students.
2 classmates, no? In fact, classmates, because they are in the same class. When? Oh, okay, let's listen to the second question. Oh, God. Doesn't react. Okay, here. Oh, God.
Number 2.
Okay.
When does the conversation take place?
What do you say? Did you pay attention at the very, very beginning?
At the school?
But it says when, not where.
When? Where?
When?
Sorry.
After
Yes,
class? Well, after class?
after
Right.
class, yes. Probably even the next day of class. Because I think she said if he had read the article that the professor gave them yesterday. So it is not immediately after class, but it is after the class the day before. No? Okay. And question 3, what would it be? Question 3.
Number 3. What is the source of the information?
What is the source?
The article.
Exactly. An article that they needed to read, no? Like piece of an assignment.
Yeah,
Kind of
given
homework.
by the teacher.
By the teacher, yes, it's an article. Okay, good. Well, let's see what it says now on the answer key. Let's see what we've got here. Let me amplify it. Exercise 21. It says that in the first conversation, we have a student and an employment office worker. Yes, a worker in the campus office. In conversation 2, we have 2 students during the spring semester, right after spring break, and a trip or the vacation, no, he just took. And then conversation 3, again, we have 2 students, and it is sometime during the semester, they say, but I remember I listened that. Have you read the material that the teacher gave us? And it is an article that one of them read. Okay, good. Now let's move ahead on. Well, this is probably a little, for you, could be not so important, but I guess it is very important because it's the way of focusing from the very beginning on the topic. Because if you get a little distracted, like thinking, oh my God, I left the beans boiling in the stove, no? And then the conversation begins and you are still over there thinking about your house. As you come back into the focus, into the topic, you might have lost important information at the beginning. No? So this is like monitoring your brain and training into, okay, very first sentences. One first and second sentence, probably we will start getting to know where, when, who, what is happening. All right. Okay, skill 22. It says, there are, okay, listening for answers in order. Now, as the conversation, longer conversation in part B has 4 questions, sometimes 3 questions. The questions follow an order in a logical order, according to the dialogue. So there are 2 possible methods. You can just listen to the conversation and ignore the options in the answers, or you can follow along with the answers as you listen to them. Some people want to close their eyes and just activate the listening power as much as possible. It's similarly like when we close our camera on the computer so we can have a better access on the sound. Well, similarly, we can close our eyes and just fully listen, 100% attention on listening. Or the other option that depends on different students is you listen and at the same time you read. So that would be like dividing your attention in probably 50-50, probably 60-40, probably 70-30% listening as you read along. So that is a question you need to ask yourselves. What do you think that works better for you? What is it? Just listening without contaminating the ears by reading anything? Or opening your eyes, read, and help what you listen with some letters, with some words written? It depends. What type of?
For me, the second one.
The second one, all right. Good. That is important, that you know yourselves. Somebody else thinks differently?
No, I think the same.
Yeah, also number 2, Danny? Second method for you?
Yes, I think that yes.
Okay, good. And the others? Which method is your favorite or you think is the most effective for you? Depending on your learning abilities. It changes.
For me, the first one.
Abril, you are like me. I just want 100% listening. I try to understand everything, and then I worry about reading later. Okay, but it depends. Not everybody is the same. And we just have two techniques or one or the other. So we should probably try. Try doing the two things simultaneously. See if you can catch up. If you notice that you are getting messed up, okay, go back into just listening. Okay, well, some students prefer just to listen, okay? Others find that they can answer more questions correctly if they read along. Read along means simultaneously as you are listening while the conversation is being spoken, because this is important, the questions are in order. So that's why it is possible to read and listen, because you finished one and then you go to the next one and then you go to the next one. The difficulty on listening, only 100% listening, is that you need to remember everything in your brain, what you listen. That's also difficult because you can listen to many things, but you do not necessarily remember everything you listen. So that's another negative point just on listening. So how good are you in your memory when you go and read the options to detect, to spot the correct one? It depends on you. Okay, so here we have the two options. Okay, and here we have, I don't know what type of account. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead on to the listening exercise, okay? Vámonos al, okay, this is it. Okay, why don't you do something? A ver, ¿por qué no hacemos una prueba? Escuchen la primera, only listening. Okay, y a ver, van a contestar las primeras cuatro. It is usually like this, no? Listen to each conversation, yes. A complete conversation. Now, it is complete. It's not only the beginning, huh? It is now the complete conversation. And then you need to answer questions. It's not only one question, but there will be a lot of information. Or if you want to do the first four, just listening and answering, listening and answering, listening and answering, spotting exactly where the question in the four questions appear throughout the dialogue. Okay, on your own, do it the way you want, okay? Let's do it.
TOEFL Exercise 22. Listen to each complete conversation and answer the questions that follow. Conversation 1. Questions 1 through 5.
Oh, through 5.
Listen to the following conversation about a part-time job.
I'm looking for a part-time job on campus.
Then you've come to the right place. The Campus Employment Office is here just to help students like you find jobs on campus.
I'm glad to hear that, because I really need to start earning some money.
Let me ask you some questions to help determine what kind of job would be best. First of all, how many hours a week do you want to work?
I need to work at least 10 hours a week, and I don't think I can handle more than 20 hours with all the courses I'm taking.
And when are you free to work?
All of my classes are in the morning, so I can work every weekday from noon on. And, of course, I wouldn't mind working on the weekends.
I'll try to match you up with one of our on-campus student jobs. Please fill out this form with some additional information about your skills and leave the form with me today. Then you can call me back tomorrow and maybe I'll have some news for you.
Thanks for your help.
Number 1.
Questions.
What does the man want to do? Number 2. Where does the conversation probably take place? Number 3. How many hours of work does the man want per week? Number 4. When can the man work? Number 5. What does the woman tell the man to do tomorrow?
Okay.
Conversation 2.
2. We continue.
Questions 6 through 10. Listen to a conversation between two friends.
Hi, Jack. It's good to see you again. Are you ready to get down to business again after spring break?
Not really, but I guess I don't really have too much choice, do I? And it's going to be particularly hard to get back to work since I just had the most fantastic vacation ever.
Really? What did you do?
I went kayaking on the Klamath River.
Kayaking?
Yes, you know what a kayak is, don't you? It's a long, narrow boat, the kind first used by the Eskimos. It's quite popular now on whitewater rivers.
Oh, I know what a kayak is. I was just surprised that you would take a trip like that. Weren't you scared?
At first I was, but after I learned some techniques for maneuvering the kayak, it wasn't so bad. We didn't start out on the river. We had 3 whole days of instruction in a shallow pool first. Then, when we finally got out on the river, I felt ready for it.
Did you spend the nights camping outside on the ground? That alone would make the trip unappealing to me.
Oh no, the accommodations were fantastic. Each person on the trip had a private cabin, and the facilities included a hot tub, a lodge where you could have a drink and relax, and a top-notch cafeteria with great food.
Now that part of the trip does sound good to me, but I don't think I'd like the part that involves riding through rough water in a small kayak.
Oh, you should try it. I know you'd like it. I'm going to do it again myself as soon as I can afford to spend the time and the money.
Well, better you than me.
Number 6. When does the conversation probably take place? Number 7. What are the man and woman discussing? Number 8. How much instruction did the man have before going out on the river? Number 9. Which of the following is not part of the kayaking trip? Number 10. How does the woman feel about taking a kayaking trip? Conversation 3. Questions 11 through 15. Listen to a conversation between two classmates.
Did you read the article that the professor assigned for tomorrow's class? It was really interesting.
No, not yet. What was it about?
It was about pollution, specifically one kind of pollution called acid rain.
Why is it called acid rain?
It's called acid rain because the rain, or some other kind of precipitation, has been polluted with acid.
Where does the acid come from?
From cars or factories, anything that burns coal or oil. These are made up mostly of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides, which react with water vapor to form sulfuric acid or nitric acid.
You mean that when coal or oil is burned, acid gets formed, and when it rains or snows, the acids fall back on Earth?
Exactly. That's why it's so dangerous. Acid rain has been falling over areas of northern America and northern Europe, and if this isn't checked, the effect on the water supply and plant and animal life could be disastrous.
This is something important. I really need to read that article.
Number 11. What is the topic of this conversation? Number 12. What energy sources cause acid rain? Number 13. How is sulfuric acid formed? Number 14. According to the man, where is acid rain a problem? Number 15. What action does the woman think she should take next?
Okay. This is it. Are we done or do we still have another one? Just 15, no? Yes.
Yes.
Then we go with another exercise. Okay. Do you have your answers? I'm going to dictate the correct answer so you can correct yourselves. Ready?
Ready.
Okay. Let's see. This was exercise 22. And we have number 1, A. 2, C. 3, C. 4, baby. 5, Danny. 6, Danny. 7, C. 8, B. 9, A. 10, D of Danny. 11, Danny. 12, C. 13, baby. 14, C. And 15, D, Danny. Got it? Any number? Did you catch them all? Yes? Errors? Tell me how many errors?
2.
2. All right, not bad. 2 out of 15 means like the 15%. Okay. 85. Just one?
Yes.
Oh, good. There. Excellent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So notice how the strategies that we have seen in the 3 previous one, 20, 21, and 22, are like preparing our mental focus to fully concentrate on the complete dialogue, topic related. Everything is going to be like to the topic, main topic, and that's why if we can, by looking quickly at the questions, start getting a general idea what this conversation number 1 will be about. Jobs, okay, places, because it says in. Hours, this means numbers, 10, 20, okay. Schedule, morning, afternoon, weekdays. And then number 4, activities, what, fill out, give information, etc. So we are more focused. All right. Let's go ahead, okay? Let me just erase this. Well, I hope. I just circle it too big for nothing, but I am just deleting everything. This is not as fast as when we have the zoom tools. They really go fast erasing, but not in this case. Okay, there we are. Okay, so let's move ahead. The next one. Well, this is a recollection of all the anticipation strategies, no? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, which is anticipate your topics, anticipate questions, so you will be prepared, like waiting for the listening to start, because the conversations are longer, okay? And we need to focus on the topic, conclusions of where and who and where, etc., and the answers will be in order. Okay, you tell me if you would like to listen to one of these or we move to 23. Would you like to try one which is a review from 18 to 22? We can do it here. Or if you prefer, we move ahead and we see a new one. What do you say?
Do you think that we can finish if we?
We are just missing 3 more, but we need to listen to each of them and discuss. Well, do you have any question, by the way, before I check up how many we're missing? Because that's a very intelligent question, Almita. We're just missing 3. Oh, no, we're missing 5 because it is 27. So I think we'd rather go ahead. But anyway, any error here that didn't really catch your mind in a proper place from your errors?
No, teacher.
Okay. The rest of you? So let's move ahead. No?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the review, well, remember that you can always do it. Okay. Now, part C. Do you remember what type of listening do we have in this section? Here we have 3 talks, speeches, long explanations or lectures. This means there is no dialogue. It's only one speaker. But you will listen to longer talks than the first part, which is very short dialogues, part B, which is longer dialogues, and part C, which are longer, but talks, not dialogues, speeches. And here we have the topics, no? The talks are often about school life, things that students currently live, announcements, that's very common. Did you listen to what the professor finally say at the end of the class? No, or yes, what was it about? So, like information, relevant information to students' academic life. Not only from the teachers, it could be from the office, from the coordination of, I don't know, science, or from the librarians, or about the construction of a new cafeteria. So this type of administrative announcements, that is commonly. And it says it is also common to be shortened versions of lectures from full courses in the universities of the United States. So it can be teachers giving lectures in a brief manner, because normally a lecture takes an hour and a half or 2 hours. So here they are presenting us like 3 minutes, which is quite long, because then with those 3 minutes, the teacher goes speaking fast about details and about academic terminology and describing processes of animals or probably physical phenomena. I mean, they are going to give a lot of information because this is the fact. The two types of talks are giving you information and details, sometimes steps, sometimes classifications, all right? Instructions for students to follow. So we need to have like an alert mind. And it is at the end of the listening section where our brain has already been working, you know? So we might probably even feel a little tired. But don't forget that many times they are going to talk about academic topics that are common in American universities or colleges. Okay, so here we have just a short example, no? Listen to a talk about settlement in America. And so the woman, the teacher, the history teacher goes blah, 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 blah. And then we have 3 or 4 questions. In this case, they are only presenting 2. I don't know if on the next page, yes, they are presenting 4 questions. So similarly, a lot of information asking you about 4 particular details. Okay? So let's not read it in the example, but let's do it directly on the first strategy here on section C. Anticipate the topics. It's very helpful for your overall, your general comprehension if the topic is clear, so your brain can catch up more in context. So it is a good idea to anticipate the topics similarly as we did, similarly to part B. For example, let's say, are the talks about American history or literature or an aspect of the student's school life? A helpful strategy is therefore to look briefly at the answers and the options in the textbook before you listen. But this has to be done like quickly, no? Like passing your eyes quickly as the conversation, well, in this case, the talk begins. Hear the talks on, before actually you hear the talks on the recording, and try to determine the topics and open your mind into the subject. Okay, so here they are giving us this training. Okay, let's try very quickly to look at the answers to 5 questions and try to quickly anticipate the topic of the talk. Okay, of course, you cannot always determine exactly the topic. It's only a supposition, a general idea. Okay, come on, let's do it. Come on, very quickly, look at these options and try to anticipate the information in the talk, in the speech. What do you say? Here they already have answered. What is the topic? Requirements of a biology class. The first day of class, what we have to do for the final, how often. Do the first laboratory is probably an assignment or an exam or laboratory manual or reading, and then where no? Room assignments, exam topics, reading, the first lecture, exams in laboratory, reading, class. So they are like a lot of tasks, homework, requirements for a biology class or to pass biology. And you can get this because of the clues, biology, first class, assignments, exams, lab work. You see? So we can say, well, because of these, we can assume, we can suspect that there is a teacher speaking about the first day of class, presenting how the students will pass biology if they cover these requirements. Seems logical, no? How do you feel?
Logical.
Yeah, first day of class. What do teachers do on the first day of class? Put the conditions of the
Put the
course,
conditions, yes.
yeah, in front of the students' compromise. So they will know what to be expected from the course. Okay. Well, is it okay, guys? Can we move on?
Yeah.
Okay, vamos a ver qué nos da. Okay. What do we have here? This. Okay, it's another exercise, I guess. Okay, come on, let's try to practice again. Very quickly explore, you know, the options to get a general idea of the topic. Come on, quickly. We can't read everything, ¿ah? You just need to spot. Tienen que aprender como que a leer brincando, ¿no? Ring fire está en mayúscula. Ah, ok, volcano. Ah, ok, Hawaiian. Ah, ok, characteristics. Oh, ok, in Hawaii, Mauna Loa. Ok, in the United States. Okay, Hawaii, the United States. Not so violent. Ah, a lot of gas and thick lava. Okay, volcano. Volcanic mountain, explosive. Okay. Just spotting. What is it? What could the topic be?
The ring of fire.
Particularly the volcano.
The volcanoes of the ring of fire.
Oh my God, I think sorry. Okay. The volcano. Ring of fire, which is a very particular, located in
Pacific Ocean.
Okay. More specifically,
Hawaii.
Hawaii, no? So like the description, the characteristics, no? Characteristics of the volcano, characteristics, the contents or the elements, no? Lava, gas, explosive, all this. Okay. Well, kind of. How about the other one? Come on. Do it quickly, very quickly. Remember that you do not have much time. It's only as they are saying, this is the end of talk number one. Now listen to talk number two. Very quickly you go in this moment while the listening instruction is coming. Very quickly. Okay, what would you say? What will you listen in the talk? What?
The National Air and Space Museum.
The museums,
Well, museums.
Museum, because we have one museum here, another museum, natural History Museum, Smithsonian Arts Museum, to the White House, an artist, a tour guide. What would you think? Think about the first one. Remember that at the very beginning, the first question, which is in order, first and second at the most, you need to pay closer attention because that will give you the topic at the very, very beginning. So museum square or what? Museum's guide, for example?
With me, the Smithsonian guide or arts and
But it is not only
museum.
about one. It's about several.
Several.
Several. So that's why we can speak in plural. A guide to museums, no? So this could be probably for new students, suggestions. In, I don't know, history and art class, no? That could be. Like talking about museums guide. So remember that this is something that is going to happen at school, on campus. So probably the cultural area of the school will offer museums guide for all the semester, no? So it is only predicting, bringing ideas out that may help you and may give you the possibility to focus better on the full talk. Okay, well, let's go. Let's see what comes next. Okay, this is probably now on listening. Skill 24, anticipate the questions. We have done it in part B. We have known how we can anticipate the questions. It's an ability to try to answer individual questions similarly to what we had in listening part B. So in your test book, you read for 3 weeks, for 3 days, for 3 months, for 3 hours. What is the question? The period of time of something. How long can you, how long do you, how long does the subject, does the course last? So let's do it. Study the following answers and try to determine what the questions will be. You should note, okay, here, determine what the questions will be. You should note that perhaps you will only be able to predict part of a question. You can predict, you can't predict everything, but at least the key word in the question, not the complete. Now, very important, if you cannot predict the question in a short, quickly period of time, come on, stop and move on to the next group of answers. Remember, we are reading against time. So we have to be we have to be very quick readers and sharp minds to catch the keyword. So let's see the first one. Where does the talk probably take place? That is the possible question. How do we know? Because it's when, cuando, okay? When does the talk probably take place? We have time, during, in a biology group, on the first day of class, before the final exam. It's time. When? Okay, now come on, do the other ones in silence. Try to predict what you read. What could be the possible question? How many questions do we have? 5? Nope.
No, 13.
Oh my God.
No,
It's
15.
15. Oh my God.
15.
Okay. I don't know. I think we could do probably the first 5. Is it okay?
5, yeah.
Okay, so up to number 6 because number 1 was done. So
Yeah.
number 2 up to number 6. Come on. Because we need to move ahead. It's already 3:30, people. First, up to number 6. Okay. Remember, you'll have to do this very quickly. What could be a possible question in number 2, people?
How often the activity probably take place?
What? The question? The key question? The key word? What is the question word?
Week or hours?
When? Times, no?
When?
Time, exactly. Or frequency, no? Frequency more than time. Like, what is the question? Give me a key word to the question. Denme la palabra. ¿Qué palabra interrogativa usaríamos?
Time.
No, but
what time?
the question.
How many times?
Often
okay.
or often
Okay, ya ven, cuando pensamos en la pregunta per se, ya no en el tema, sino en la pregunta. How often? Claro. How many times? How many times? ¿No? ¿Cada cuándo? ¿Cuántas veces? Once a week, twice a week, thrice a week for 15 hours. ¿No? Or it could also be how long? ¿Por cuánto tiempo? Por 15 horas. So, all of these are related to time. Todas se refieren al tiempo. Pero como ustedes dijeron, sí, pero más específico, it's not only time. More specific is how often, how many times, how long. Todas se refieren al tiempo. All right, question 3. Question word.
what is the activity? Probably will be what will the activity probably what the activity probably will be?
Y se contestaría con el to do the first laboratory, to take the first. No, con un what, no. What will the activity, what will the final activity be? Or what will the first activity be?
Which?
Well, probably to do the first laboratory. Okay. Which activity? What or which? A ver, ¿qué otro?
Which activity probably will be?
To take the first exam, to study the laboratory. Okay. Which task? ¿No? A lo mejor, ¿qué
Which
tarea?
task? Uh-huh.
Task.
Yeah.
Which task probably
Task.
will
Probably.
Will be next, ¿no? Por ejemplo.
will be
To do the
next.
first laboratory assignment, to take the first exam, to take the laboratory manual, to study, I'm sorry, the laboratory. Yeah. Which homework? Which task? Okay. That could be. Okay, question 4.
Which is probably the source of information.
The source. Could be. Which source? Which other one? ¿De dónde saldrá? No, which source of information? From the room assignments. Yeah. Could also be what will the exam? No, what will the program cover? What will the program be about? No? Well, that could be. Okay. Number 5, questions. Question 5.
What kind of activities would be performed to get the information or something like that?
What or which activities will credit the course, for example?
With credit, okay.
Yeah, that could be. All right. And number 6. This is a different topic now about the volcano.
What would be probably the effect or the results or the consequence of the ring of fire or something like that?
What is what? Or what?
What would be probably the consequence or the effect or the result?
What consequences? Let's see if that is answered with what consequences were or resulted from the volcano, the ring of fire. What caused the ring of fire? The volcanoes of the ring. Hawaiian volcanoes? No. What? They are not consequences, are they?
Well,
what could be?
Maybe the topic?
The topic.
Will be probably the topic. Okay.
But what's the main topic? No? Of the talk. What is the talk about? No? What is the talk?
Topic.
Yes, the main topic. What is the talk about? The volcanoes, the Hawaiian, the different types, what caused the ring of fire. Okay, yeah. Rather than consequences, no? I think it's more into the topic. Okay. Well, we do not always expect to have the correct answer, but we can get a general idea. It's like warming your brain up para calentar el cerebro y then go directly understanding the talk by the teacher, by the office, by the clerk. All right, let's move to the next. While listening. Estas son como antes, si se puede tener unos segunditos antes, ¡pum! Anticipo haciendo predicciones. Ok, now, while listening. ¿Qué pasa cuando ya está el audio? Running. It is running. ¿Qué se puede hacer? These are strategies while listening. Again, determine the topic by listening carefully at the beginning as we did with part B. Así como dijimos en la parte B, hay que poner atención porque casi siempre un maestro va a decir, bueno, pues la clase del día de hoy, today, in our class today, we are going to, boom. Siempre al principio va a venir el topic. So this is the first sentence is generally the topic sentence. No te lo pierdas en cuanto te diga. Speech number 2. Listen to a teacher, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Atención. On the recording you hear, the major earthquake that occurred east of Los Angeles in 1971 is still affecting the economy of the area today. What is the topic of the talk? The effect, ¿no? On the effect. El resultado es en la economía. The effect, the economy of the area affected. Okay, now here we have an exercise. Vamos a tratar de definir el tema escuchando el inicio solamente del talk. Ready? Let me open the next. Where am I? Where am I? This is not here. Okay. I hope it is. Veamos si es este, ¿eh? Porque creo que me cambié de número.
Cassette 3, Side 2.
No.
TOEFL Review Exercise. Skills 18 through 22.
Ah, es el que nos
In this-
brincamos, ¿no?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Do you
so
need
let's move ahead.
to go ahead? To move
Yeah,
ahead?
yeah, I need to go ahead. Okay, let's listen. Let's listen, people. This is 23 or 24? 23.
Conversation
25.
3. Questions 10 through 13.
No, okay.
Number 13 is
In yesterday's class, we discussed the volcanoes located in the area known as the Ring of Fire.
the topic of Talk 1.
Ah, no, ya estamos ahí porque ya están hablando de los topics, ¿no? Okay, es esta justamente, I think. Okay, let's listen. What skill number is it? 20?
25.
25, okay.
And decide on the topic of each talk.
Okay, ahí está, ¿no?
Number 13.
Okay, este va a acabar.
According to the speaker, when is Thanksgiving celebrated today?
Okay.
This is the end of listening part B. Listening part C. Exercise 25.
25, come on.
Listen to the first part of each of the talks and decide on the topic of each talk. Number 1. The first part of Talk 1 is
Welcome to Biology 101. I'm Professor Martin, and this is your laboratory assistant, Peter Smith.
What is the topic of Talk 1?
What do you think is the topic on Talk 1?
The first class of biology lab.
First class, yes. At biology laboratory, yeah. Do you agree, people? First day at biology class, yes. Okay, topic 2. Okay.
Number 2. The first part of Talk 2 is
In yesterday's class, we discussed the volcanoes located in the area known as the Ring of Fire, an area which basically encircles the Pacific and includes the United States' Mount St. Helens, as well as Japan's Mount Fuji and Argentina's Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the world's approximately 500 active volcanoes are located along the Ring of Fire, and the eruptions that take place there are among the most violent in the world. Today, we are going to discuss the volcanoes of Hawaii, which are quite different from the volcanoes in the Ring of Fire.
Oops. A ver. What is the topic? Estuvo muy largo, pero nos hicieron una trampa ahí, ¿no? What is it?
Volcanoes located
As
in
of
the Ring of
yesterday,
Fire.
the topics of the volcanoes area in the rise of fire.
No,
Ring of Fire.
I don't think so.
Volcanoes located in the Ring of Fire, and then Hawaii, the volcano in Hawaii.
Volcanoes in Hawaii?
Volcanoes in Hawaii only, because the others were like comparative, talking about the Pacific Ocean, but the ones that are different in the Pacific Ocean are the ones in Hawaii.
Okay. Volcano.
Yes, because
plural or singular?
No, volcanoes, I think, in Hawaii, volcanoes are different from the others that belong to the Ring of Fire. That's why the professor begins like saying, volcanoes are in the Pacific, no, in the Pacific Ocean are very explosive, blah, blah, blah. But today, we're going to talk
Today's
about the ones
class.
in Hawaii, which are different.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, look at the trick. ¿Se fijaron aquí el truco, eh? No, tomaron mucho para explicarnos lo que no era el tema.
That's it.
Y al final nos dijeron en una oración, but today, ¿no? But today.
I got the trick.
Yeah, be careful on that. Porque a veces nos vamos y en las primeras líneas, pues sí, están las primeras líneas, ya dijo que vamos a ver las diferentes características de los volcanes del Pacífico. No, justamente esos no, dijo después. Oh my God. All right, pay attention to number 3 then.
What is the topic of Talk 2?
Okay, well, this is Talk 2.
Number 3. The first part of Talk 3 is,
I hope you've enjoyed your visit so far in Washington, D.C. Today we're going on a tour of the Smithsonian.
what is the topic of Talk 3?
What?
Well, there is a tourist guide visiting Washington, D.C. and the Smithsonian museums.
So, the real topic?
The Smithsonian Museum.
Smithsonian Museum?
Exactly. The tour to the Smithsonian Museum. Only. Because the others, you know, in Washington, there are some others, but today will be just the tour to the Smithsonian Museum. Okay. Good. Well, these are some strategies to anticipate and like focus our mind. 26, draw conclusions about who, what, where. It's exactly as listening part B. Ya lo vimos. Who's talking? You can start because of the conversation and the information you listen. You can start deciding where can the people be? What course is it, the one they are talking about? What source? Who is speaking? All right, so let's see. Let's move ahead. No, I think we need to go slowly. No, it's only the example. Solo nos ponen el ejemplo. No, aquí está el ejercicio. 26, right? Like, on the recording you hear, the next stop on our tour of Atlanta will be the original home of Coca-Cola, blah, 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 blah. Who is probably talking? A tour guide. Where are they? In Atlanta, because they said a tour of Atlanta. When does the talk take place? In the middle of the tour. The next stop, ¿qué quiere decir? Que ya fueron a otro lado. That's why in the middle of the tour is correct. Got it? De aquí mismo sale. ¿No? Cuando hablamos de tour, pues ya sabemos que es un tour guide. Atlanta, because the tour is of Atlanta. And then the next stop, it means other stops have happened. Got it? Vamos, escuchamos. Who is probably talking, where, when, and what course? Talk number 1, only the beginning. Attention.
Exercise 26. Listen to the first part of each of the talks and try to imagine the situation. Then answer the questions in the text. Talk 1. Listen to the beginning of Talk 1 and try to imagine the situation.
Welcome to Biology 101. I'm Professor Martin, and this is your laboratory assistant, Peter Smith. This course meets twice a week for lecture and once a week for laboratory assignments.
Number 1. Who is probably talking?
Come on.
The professor.
Yes. The professor, the responsible professor, no? The professor in charge of biology 101, no?
Biology 101 laboratory.
Yeah, and it is like the professor. She mentioned, I'm Professor
Yeah.
Fulano de Tal, and this is the assistant. So who's speaking? The laboratory
The
professor. No? All right.
laboratory professor.
Good. Number 2.
Number 2. Where does the talk probably take place?
Come on. Very easy.
At the university, at the biology class or the laboratory.
Where?
At the university?
Yes,
The
but
room class?
The room
yeah,
class.
in the classroom.
In
Yeah.
the classroom.
In the laboratory, no?
Yeah, in the
To be more
laboratory.
precise, in the laboratory section, in the laboratory facilities, where they have all the material there. Yeah, okay. The next, question 3. When does the talk probably
Number 3. When does the talk probably take place?
When?
At the beginning of the semester?
The semester.
Exactly. Beginning of the semester, beginning of the course, beginning of the first day of class. Okay. And number 4.
So the biology course.
Number 4.
Yes.
Yes.
What course is being discussed?
Biology.
Laboratory, no? The biology laboratory course.
Laboratory.
More particular, experimental, no? So the laboratory is not only the books, reading the books of biology. It's not a biology class. It's a biology laboratory class, ¿no?
Yes.
Ok. Well, vamos a adelantarnos. Ajá, ahorita ya no escuchamos la otra y vamos a ver la 27 antes de que se nos acabe porque quedamos que paramos a las 4, ¿no? Para tomar el break media hora antes y regresar media hora antes para poder hacer ahora sí nuestro final test. Ok, ¿de cuál es la 27? Listen for answers in order. Si se dan cuenta, estas últimas son iguales que en la parte B. There are 2 possible methods. Listen to the talk and ignore the answers, or follow along with the answers as you listen. O solo oyes y vas 100% a reservar en tu memoria toda la mayor comprensión. No traten de memorizar los datos porque va a haber muchos datos, fechas, nombres, lugares, cantidades, elementos, clasificaciones de animales, de montañas, de lo que sea. No nos lo vamos a memorizar. Lo único que se necesita es entender que sí es cierto que hay determinado número de elementos, que si en determinada fecha se hizo algo, que fueron 2 o 3 personas las que hicieron algo, o sea, nada más datos generales, 100% listening. Or follow and try to predict. Acuérdense que las preguntas no las tenemos. Entonces tampoco se puede contestar simultáneamente, se puede predecir la respuesta, justo por eso estamos haciendo este ejercicio de predicción. ¿Por qué? Pues para darte cuenta dices, aquí lo que me van a preguntar es y la respuesta podría ser, ¿no? Entonces, y como ya lo estás oyendo, a lo mejor ahí dices, ok, aquí la pregunta es esta. Okay, so just use the best strategy to your own way of listening for information. A ver, hacemos la primera, ¿no? Right? Exercise 27. A ver, déjenme le adelanto porque ya no escuchamos las otras dos. Let's see.
Number 2. Where does the talk take place?
Apenas va la 2 y son 3, ¿no? Okay.
What is the assignment for the next class?
Está al final ya, ¿no?
Number 4. What information is given in the syllabus?
I think it is the beginning of exercise 27. Now coming.
Number 5. What will the professor use to determine the final course grades? Talk 2. Questions 6 through 10.
Ah, no, entonces fueron
Yeah, you took in advance so much.
Okay. Entonces hagamos la segunda. Okay. Porque ya para no regresar y perdernos, espérenme. Les regreso para que ubiquen el número de las preguntas. This is the second talk, okay?
The Ring of Fire.
Oh, okay. 6 through 10.
Sí.
6 to 3.
In yesterday's class, we discussed the volcanoes located in the area known as the Ring of Fire, an area which basically encircles the Pacific and includes the United States' Mount St. Helens, as well as Japan's Mount Fuji and Argentina's Aconcagua, the highest mountain in the Western Hemisphere. Most of the world's approximately 500 active volcanoes are located along the Ring of Fire, and the eruptions that take place there are among the most violent in the world. Today, we are going to discuss the volcanoes of Hawaii, which are quite different from the volcanoes in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes are not located along the Ring of Fire and are therefore not caused by the movement of the Earth's plates against each other. Instead, Hawaii is located in the middle of the Ring of Fire, above a massive plate rather than where two plates meet. The result is that Hawaiian volcanoes are much gentler than those in the Ring of Fire. Hawaiian volcanoes have much less gas in them, which causes less explosive eruptions, and the lava in Hawaiian volcanoes is thinner, which results in mounds that are long and low rather than high and steep, because the lava flows farther and builds mounds gradually with long, low slopes. Mauna Loa, the name of one of Hawaii's most famous volcanoes, actually means long mountain.
Number 6. What was the topic of yesterday's lecture?
Yesterday's lecture.
Number 7. What is the topic of today's lecture? Number 8. Where are most of the world's active volcanoes located? Number 9. What is characteristic of Hawaii's volcanoes? Number 10. What is Mauna Loa?
Okay. So, from 6 to 10, okay?
Yes.
All right. I'll dictate the answers. Exercise 27 from 6 to 10. Just a second. I'm scrolling down. Okay, 2027. Here we are. Okay, 6. Number 6, letter B. 7, B of baby, of course. 7 and 8, letter C. Number 9, A. And number 10, letter C. How was it? Okay.
Could you repeat number 7? C?
Oh, yeah, sure. 7, 27. 7 is letter C. 8,
Okay.
C again.
Okay.
Errors in this 4 or 5?
0.
Oh, good.
No.
Not bad at all then.
No, one error, not 2.
One error.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, 4 o'clock already, my people. I think we should stop now because we need to go in advance breakfast. I mean, lunch or break. So I'll be back. We will be back at 4:30 for the exam. Okay?
4:30. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
4:30.
see you later.
See you later. Bye-bye. Bon appetit.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you, teacher.
See you later.
See you, teacher. Thanks.
Welcome.